years across my life. When I was in kindergarten, we had these big sandpit to play in, and my first ever report card read, Ruchira may be the tiniest one in the sandpit, but she loves to organize everyone in it. Now, this organizing capability stayed with me across the years, and so has the tiny part. Growing up, whenever we would have any team games to play, I would be the person to help choose which game to play or to choose the teams. And for that, I was called bossy. Now, I didn't quite like the sound of that, so I started to actively hold in my thoughts so that I would not appear bossy. And from that, I saw that far from that decisive child, I had turned into this indecisive person. Then one day, I was reading this book by Sheryl Sandberg when I came across this quote. We don't always encourage leadership in women. Instead of calling that little girl bossy, why don't we say that she already has leadership qualities? And that made a world of a difference to me. I started my journey on a path of leadership, and I've not looked back since. It started small, as the head girl of my batch in school, to the student coordinator of clubs at college. Right now, to today, where I'm comfortably able to juggle my responsibilities as a club VP education, the division QPR manager, and a member of the district PR team. From this, I learned that if we want to master our minds, we need to overcome our insecurities. Now, across these three incidents, the one thing that stands out for me is that we can accomplish anything if we just set our minds to it. And to do that, we need to become the CEOs of our mind. So the next time that you're stuck with a seemingly unsolvable problem, just remember to establish command over your thoughts. Exercise the willpower to subdue your fears and overcome your insecurities. Are you ready to become a CEO, Madam Toastmaster of the Day?
Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful speech. I think all of us are now ready to become CEOs after your speech, Ruchira. It was an amazing speech with a beautiful message. And now let's go on to our second speaker for the day. But before I move on to our speaker for the day, allow me to request the evaluator to share the speech objectives. Another gentleman, someone who really has a knack for grammar and can observe the smallest of mistakes in your grammar. He's one of those people who will humbly correct you, will always be there if you need his help with respect to anything that comes in speeches and writings. I am yet to receive parties and treats from him, but I'm hoping that day will come very, very soon. With that, let me call on Toastmaster Achyut as the speech evaluator for our next speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Apologies for the video being off. I'm just commuting back. Uh, I'll get back to seeing all of you over camera towards the end of the speech. Coming to our second speaker for the evening, our first speaker was someone who was stepping into the path with her in her first level. Our second speaker is one who is nearing the summit. Our second speaker will be delivering their third project from level 5 on the path of dynamic leadership. The project objectives for this speech is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer keynote-like speech. Timer, please note the timing for this speech is between 18 to 22 minutes. I believe the green card should go up at 18, the yellow at 20, and the red at 22. In case there is a difference in this, I would request either the speaker or the Vice President Education to please notify right now. Other than that, back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. And best of luck to the speaker.
Thank you so much, Achyut. And now let us call on stage our speaker for the day. Our speaker for the day has his birthday on the 9th of September, and I think we should all wish him when the day comes. He's someone who is looking someone as very enthusiastic and ready for the speech, So, without wasting any time, let us hand it over to Toastmaster Rakesh Prasad with the speech titled The Road to Success. The Road to Success, Toastmaster Rakesh Prasad. Sir, you're on mute before you begin.
My question goes to DTA Archita Singh. What you will define success? How do you define success?
Success to me is satisfaction at its core. I should be happy and satisfied with what I have. And when I have that, I think I am successful.
Good. And the second question, same question, go to DTA Sawyer Roy, our general evaluator, sir.
Success to me is loving what you do, because in life sometimes you may not be lucky enough to end up doing what you love. So the key according to me is to somehow condition your mind to love whatever it is that you end up doing. That to me is success.
The same question goes to AD. Sir, AD, Toastmaster AD.
I agree with Archita 100%. It's a perspective, not what happens to you, but what you make of what happens to you.
Different people have different way of success. Somebody says money, somebody says love, somebody says happiness. What is success? It's a very complicated question. I may say success for me to be a billionaire, lot of money, cars, bungalows, at my call, a driver comes with a Mercedes. Sir, come, your cab is ready. For somebody just to have a peace of mind, to be surrounded with a family member, that is success. So success you can't define. It's something like it is very simple to be happy. If I'm saying it is very simple to be happy, but it's very difficult to be simple. It's really difficult. Last time, my son was playing something, and the ball, he hit the ball, and the water glass was there. It tumbled, and it was all water and water. I got angry. I could have avoided reacting and would have been stable. It already had spilled the water all over. It will take its time to dry up. That was the only thing. I should have peace, tranquility in me. So are you lucid with your ideas that you have to be how you define your success? Good evening, fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guest. The topic I have chosen today is Road to Success. Now, I define success in a different way. See, if you have a target, everybody should have a target. Somebody should have a long target, like short-term target, and somebody should have each day target. Like whenever I wake up, for me, I'm not telling about anybody else. I find somebody laughing also, smiling also, somebody staring also. But for me, when I wake up early in the morning, first thing for me is there to write in a diary what all I have to do. In the night, when I tick all them, I find that all this has been done successfully. So that is one of the success for me. When I do my exercises in the morning, I enjoy like anything. I'm high, as if that is the best thing of my life. I do my yoga, I do exercises. That is the success for me. That morning has spent very nicely, in peace of mind. The day I don't get scolding from my beautiful wife. Again, say, when I don't get the scolding from my beautiful wife, I feel what a happy and successful day. So this is a small amount of success. How you do? Now let me tell you the road to success. How you will go to the road of success. First, you have to have a target. You remember the story of Arjuna and Dronacharya? The Dronacharya, the great mentor. When you go to the mentorship and all, you may have used the stories also. Like when he wanted to test his all pupils, He told, all of you come, I want to test you. Who is one of my good students? You have a target, you have to aim it. And whoever aim it, I'll think he is the best student. He asked Yudhishthir, what do you see on the tree? He has planted a bird, wooden bird, and asked to see, pierce the eye with the arrow. Yudhishthir, see, I can see the bird, I can see the tree, I can see the beautiful surrounding. Please aside. He asked Duryodhan, he said, I can see the tree. He said something similar answer. When he called Bhim, he said, I can see the mangoes and all fruits on the tree, because he was always a glutton and he always loved to eat. So he was, then only came the Arjun. When he was asked, he said, I see only the eye of the bird, nothing else. Sir, then Dronacharya told him, take a aim and shoot. It pierced the eye of the target. So he was elucidate on his mind, very that he has to pierce the eye. So he was focused. So when you come to next point, first you need a target. You need to focus. You lose your focus. When you have something in your mind, suppose you have to go to Kolkata and you have to attend a meeting. You should only think about that meeting. You should not think about anything else. You should not be addicted to your mobile, gadgets, anything. You should just see your presentation. Have you prepared well? Have you done all your homeworks? You have been 100% prepared. You should be 110% prepared. I don't say 100 also. I say 110%. And you should be second. Third, you the face of the grammarian, because she is keeping her video switched off. Can you have her on the screen, please? Madam Grammarian?
Yes. Good evening.
Yes. Do you agree with me that when we should not have everything on our mind, we should delegate it. If I have a subordinate, I should rely on him. I should not have all the thing on me loaded. I should not have think, no, I'll do all the fight. You sit there, just monitor him. What do you think?
Could you please repeat your question? Actually, I'm having some connectivity issues.
I'm telling that if I have some work, I'm a CEO, like the last speaker. I'm a CEO of a company and I have a lot of delegates. Should I distribute the works to them also, or should I keep all the load of work on me? I'm not clear.
You should distribute your work. No, you're absolutely clear. You should not take all the work. You should distribute it to others as well.
Exactly. I also wanted to, I was saying the same thing, but I wanted your approval of the same. Now coming back to the same thing. Now we should distribute the work. Now third, fourth come the planning. Don't you think the planning is again very important, Madam Grammarian?
Yes, it is.
So that again is important. Now what happens? Suppose I send you to a shopping mall. Just go and buy everything you need for your house without planning. What you will do? Can I ask this question to one of the gentlemen? I'll ask the handsome guy, the VP Education of our club. Can you be there on the screen, sir? The VP Education, good me saying, I'm new to your club, so I may not be pronouncing your name properly, but apologies for that. Can you be there on the screen, sir?
Yes, definitely. Can I have your question again?
I wanted to ask you that if you go without planning to a shopping mall, this question would have been better for the lady, but I'm asking to you because I find you to be a very sincere husband. If you go to a shopping mall and I'm asked you to buy things for your household month thing, how will you buy it?
I would definitely call off my wife for the list, because if I listen to her and then go to the shopping mall and try buying it, I am absolutely sure to miss out on some things and go back again to the mall the next day or at the very same moment. So I would not risk that. I would definitely give her a call and then buy it.
Such a sincere husband. Oh, well, he's something similar to me. Even I do the same thing. I ask, ma'am, I'm going to the mall. If you have something to order, please WhatsApp me. I'll take the list and do the shopping. If I go on my own, I buy all the unnecessary stuff. So the planning is very much important. You should have a clear mind. If you write everything on a piece of a paper, what happens, you are free. Otherwise, your mind keeps on juggling with the ideas. I have to do that. I have to do this. So many things keeps on coming to your mind. You are not in peace of mind. You are struggling what to write, what not to do. So if you write in a piece of paper, you are in peace of mind. Are you all lucid with the idea? Right. Next we go. When you start becoming successful, because when you take the baby step, see any target, anything, a lot of people have a fear. Can I again come back to the DTM? Sing the Toastmaster of the day, ma'am, please.
Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, it is not that the fear to take the first baby step, the first step, anywhere, any target. If you want to take a house, buy a house, or establish a business, or want to become a successful entrepreneur, or want to become a businesswoman, what do you want to do? You want to have to take a first baby step? Don't you feel fear that should I take, should I not take? That is there or not?
Absolutely. There's always a sense of fear. There's always hesitation. There is always reluctance before you do something big. And I think it's that fear which is really important. Otherwise, you may come across as overconfident and you may mess up. So I think that fear is also one of the factors that drive you.
Exactly. But it is again very important to take the first baby step. For last 10 months, I tell you, last 10 months, the day started the lockdown on 22nd. I enjoyed the first 2 months as if I was on Greece holidays. But after the 2 months, I found that I stay to the border town of Bhutan. All my clientels are come from the other side of the country, Bhutan. The international borders are completely sealed. I used to get 40 clients for eye tasting and all. Now I'm getting only 4 to 5 clients. So I took the first baby step to establish a new unit in Siliguri. I'm starting a new unit in Siliguri, but I decided this new year, after a lot of dancing and all, I told my wife early morning, I'm planning to go to Siliguri and I've decided to start a project. On 24th of January, I took the decision to start a project. Though I have 2 flats here, but I told I'll be staying alone. I'll not shift you and my children from Jagaon to this Siliguri. I'll be coming alone. Let me work hard on the project. And that was the first baby step I took. So it's very important to take the first baby step. So these are the process to the road of success. The road of success is very easy and simple. Only thing is that you have to take the first baby step and then you have to go back to the first. You have to have a target. If there is no target, there is no focus, again it is difficult. Now, suppose you start becoming successful. This question I should ask to the accountant lady. It was lady, I suppose, or a gentleman. I forgot it. Can I have the lady, please? The accountant lady.
Yes, sir. Tell me. I'm here.
I'm telling you, asking you. Now, what happens when you are successful? What should you be first priority? You start becoming successful. What should you be doing at that moment?
Well, I think when you start tasting success and become successful, maintaining the success is the most important thing because you could reach the peak and just have a downfall the very next moment. I think my step would be, or my planning would be more of how do I keep maintaining the success going on ahead in my life.
I differ slightly from you.
Okay.
Can I have somebody else's opinion? I'm not finding. Somebody will volunteer to answer this question. Some different answers. Somebody.
All right, I can.
Yes,
I
Ed,
think,
please do.
yeah, when you succeed, you should try sharing that success with others.
Okay, that's again. I'm slightly different because I'm here on the road of success. You are more of a big heart guy, but here I'm more of a successful guy. So now, when you are successful, you should strive more stronger. You should try to make the most out of it. When you are being successful, you should not be laying around. You should try to have more success feather attached on you. You should try to have more achievements. That should be your idea. You should not feel that I have got the success, I should maintain. You should not maintain. You should just double and triple it. That is the time. A lot of people say, become successful. Okay, fine. You have to dream big. That time you have to dream big. You started with the days, because I told you, I become happy with my day success. Then I weekly, then for the month. But the project, when I am successful at a project, then I will try to dream more big. That should be your main focus. That you should now, that achievement should go in a larger way. You should not get stuck to the small success. You should try to manifest it in a bigger way. Right? Now we'll discuss success, another thing. Now when you're successful, there are more things. Like one thing which is I remember from the last speaker, I really liked, like somebody pushed her in the swimming pool and thought came whether she could swim or not. The positive attitude, I can swim. What she told, I can swim. And she swam. So you have to have that positive power in you. I remember I used to be one of the worst students of my school. I used to just pass. Till class 4, I used to just somehow manage to get grade, to be pushed to next level. But after class 4, one of a teacher, he was Mr. Sharma. He told to my parents that, guy, I see your boy has some spark. Would you let him come for a coaching to me? I'm not charging any money, penny for him, but I'll give him a coaching. And believe me, he told me only one thing. Rakesh, you should not be reading books. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy it. You should all enjoy your work. You choose a profession where you like it. If you don't choose a profession where you don't like it, you'll never successful. I feel you'll never be successful. You should always choose a profession where you should be passionate. Because the job I do, I love it. If you ask me in the late night also, Rakesh, I'm having some itching problem. I can't see clearly. I have a redness in my eyes. I'll be able to help you out there. Even in the midnight, if you tell me, some clients call me, sir, I had lost my prescription. Can you help me with my prescription? Just hold on. I just open my laptop and see his records, and I am there to help. So this kind of passion is there. If I come to a table and you find somebody has some eye defects, I tell him, you should go for some this kind of a correction. You have a strabism, you have a astigmatism. I just want to help because this is a passion. I don't feel, whenever my wife sees me in my clinic, she sees the smiling face. She says, I feel that you enjoy more the clinic than the house. That is the reason you spend more of the time in the clinic than you come at the house. I say it's not that, but I really enjoy my work. Is not only for the money, is also for the satisfaction. Because at the end of the day, when you go to your house and you are not satisfied, how will you feel? You'll not feel happy. you'll feel somewhere something is missing. There are a lot of people who, for them, just money is everything. For me, the satisfaction is the most important part. What do you share with my idea, GTM, General Evaluator, sir? Yeah. Sir, can we have you on the screen, sir?
Yeah, can you repeat it once?
I was telling, sir, if you are not having a passion to do your work, then it is I feel the work is not very enjoyable, then you will not be successful.
Yeah, when you are not passionate about what you do, you are going to fall asleep in your office on a midday at 12 p.m.
Exactly.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. Now, my road of success is very clear to me. Target, focus, take the baby step, be passionate about your work, put some extra thing on that. Be different. Don't do what everybody does. Do have your own ideas implemented. Experiment again and again. You may fail 2 times, 3 times, 100 times. Edison failed 100 times. But he said, I learned 100 times not to make bulbs. And he eventually made the bulb. So, dear friends, with this, I rest upon and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak to your club. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Rakesh. I think it was a really nice and wonderful insight into the road of success. You took us right from Mahabharata to your own Siliguri venture and back to how we can achieve success in so many different ways. And I'm sure a lot of us had a lot of things to take from your speech. We will now quickly move on to our table topic session. Our table topics master for today is this lady who is very, very energetic. She's one of those people who comes on stage, fills everyone with energy, and makes sure that not only she, but everybody who's listening to her has a good time. She is someone, when I asked her, what do you like about your birthday? When do you celebrate it? She said it's on the 10th of October without mentioning the year very, very cleverly. After that, she said that she doesn't like a big celebration, but she likes to celebrate her birthday with her loved ones. So I'm guessing that's close friends and family. We hope and wish that she has wonderful and beautiful birthdays ahead. And with that, please put a huge round of applause together to bring on stage Toastmaster Samriddhi as your table topic master.
Keep the applause going for Toast DTM Archita. She is an amazing person to listen to, and I'm always in awe of her. So, before starting with the meeting, I would like to introduce you to the rules of every Toastmaster table topics session. Personally, it's my favorite session because we have lots of fun in table topic session. So, the few rules of table topic sessions are the guests can also participate in table topics. Every speaker will get a time of 1 to 2 minutes to speak on the topic. Green card will be shown when 1 minute will get over. In 1.5 minutes, yellow card will be shown, and in 2 minutes, red card will be shown. Also, the guests can change the topic once, but Toastmasters are not given that liberty. Sorry, Toastmasters. Also, to the last rule of every table topic, I will introduce every speaker by the table topic speaker's name, table topic speaker's name. So, without any further ado, let's start with the table topic session. Please nominate yourself or raise your hand. I will call you up on the stage. Anyone? Or I'll have to choose you and call you. So yeah, we have Abhishek Mohta. Can I know if you're a Toastmaster or a guest?
I'm a guest.
Okay, welcome to the meeting, sir. So your topic is to guest junk food popularity relies on marketing. Junk food popularity relies on marketing.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. It's a very interesting topic. I'll share some personal opinion on this. I have two kids, one 6-year-old and one 3-year-old. They have a tendency of relying on chips, biscuits, wafers, And why is that so? Why they don't eat fruits, vegetables? Because currently all the kids see more of mobile phones, TV, and what is shown there? The advertisements for these junk foods, chips, biscuits, all these ice creams. So now, when I'm seeing these things on a regular basis, my kids are seeing these on a regular basis. They find that these are the only eatable things which we should eat. Because if someone is showing us this, that is the thing which we should eat. I've been forcing them to eat vegetables and fruits, but to no help in that. I've never gotten help because they find that if dad is asking us to eat these will not be tasty. This is only having proteins, carbohydrates, and all those things, but not the main fun part of it. That is taste. So they find when actors and actresses, which they are finding, which they are looking at on the screens, as promoting these junk foods, they find it more interesting to eat and more tasty. So that's what my take. If you are doing good marketing for junk foods, they sell better. Thank you.
That's such a great take on the topic, and I agree. Marketing changes everything. Marketing is something that can make a product from 0 to 100. So yeah, I agree with you completely. So who would like to come up next? We have Manish Gupta. Yeah. May I know if you're a guest or a Toastmaster?
Guest.
Okay, great. So your topic is, in what situation lying is a good idea? Guest Manish, in what situation lying is a good idea?
Good evening, everybody. In what situation lying is a good idea? When I'm in my office, somebody calls me, where are you? I say, I'm not in office. I live in a small town where people have laid back attitude. They will come to my office, sit for hours. Either they will do bachi or they will discuss about politics. Some are pro-government, some are anti-government. That's not going to take me anywhere. So I always say I am not in office. I know it's sin to speak lie, but it's my compulsion because time is the most precious thing in life. Time, if my time is wasted with 2 hours with them, the same time I can utilize with my family, with my business. I'm doing something in which I can learn something. So many times I speak lie. And it's a good idea to speak lie. Sometime somebody asked me that to drink liquor. I know this person is going to force me. He can't understand that I left that liquor. I don't drink that liquor. It's not good for health. I'll make an excuse. Today I have a fast. I can't drink liquor. Otherwise, I would love to drink liquor. There I have to make an excuse. If I don't make an excuse, that person, maybe that person can pour liquor in some cold drink and give it to me. If I make an excuse, I will fast, then maybe that person won't dare to do it. So there are many places where the lying is good. Somebody asked me that he wants to borrow money. I have to say, no, I can't give you money because of COVID-19. I'm also a mess. Even I do not have money. So if I know, if I give money to this person, this money, he won't return it back. So I will speak lie because it's good. Because I don't want to create animosity with that person. I know this money, I'm not going to get it back. And the last I'm going to conclude, sometime we have to speak lie for our benefits. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
That's such a great take on the topic, and I agree. Lying is important at times, but it is also important to lie properly, because if we don't do that, we get caught, and then we have a lot of problems after that. I saw guest Ishan wanted to take participate in the table topic. Can we have you, sir?
Yeah. Yes. Hi.
Hi. Yeah. So your topic is, guest Ishan, poor health begins in the mind. Poor health begins in the mind. Guess, Ishan.
Hi everyone. Hi Master.
Hello. Hi, this is my topic actually.
Okay, right. So I think I misplaced. Okay, right.
Hello. Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Please go on.
Yeah, the voice is actually, yeah, okay, sure. So, hello everyone, and hello all the members of the Toastmasters Committee of Kolkata. This is my second, Zoom conference for this Toastmasters Club, being a guest, and I hope to become a member soon. So the topic for today in the Table Topic Masters section is poor health begins in the mind, and rightly so, because I feel that all the major diseases in the world, they're not very physical to begin with. They're not very physical to start with. They all begin in the mind. It's all in the mind. We all kind of have it's all in the mindset, right? So I mean, if you look at all the if you look at all the diseases which happens, all the non-communicable diseases which happen in the world, not talking about all the other communicable diseases, but all the non-communicable diseases, like racism. If you look at all the other diseases like hatred, hate crimes which are absolutely rife around the world against indigenous and minority communities in the world, in all the developed countries in the world. So all of these activities, they're actually a disease. Racism is a disease. Hate crimes and hatred is actually a disease, and they all begin in the mind. How does it spread in the mind? It all spreads by way of word. It spreads by word of mouth. It spreads by actionable words. It spreads by people taking action against someone, and that being spread, and that being actually broadcasted around the world, so that people actually see that those things are actually happening to these communities and these groups of people. And that's how it spreads. That's how it spreads to each and every corner of the world. I and To kind of also emphasize on these diseases, it's something which will not go away very soon, because to change a mindset, yes, we can always change the mind of a certain group of people, but to change the entire mindset of a certain country, well, that's going to take about minimum of 100 years to 200 years to change something, because mindset is something which is very broad. It's very broad. It doesn't change very easily. It changes in long time. It changes in the long haul. And to me, I feel that this entire topic which I'm speaking about today, I feel that everybody kind of gets a hint of what I'm trying to explain, and they kind of have the awareness that poor health does indeed begin in the mind. Thank you so much.
Honestly, that's such a great on the topic, and I completely agree with you. It's very important to have a good mindset, because if we have a good mindset, we'll have a good life for sure. So, who would like to come
Absolutely.
up next? Thank you so much. Yeah, I saw guest Keshav Saraf in
Sorry
the
to interrupt.
moderator.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. This is the timer. I just wanted
Yeah.
to get the name of the last speaker. I think it's Ishan Basak, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Ishan Basak. It's
Okay, because I heard two voices and hence I was confused.
Yes, it's
Okay.
Ishan Basak.
Okay. Thank you. You may proceed.
Yeah. So, can we have guest Keshav?
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Sorry for the video inconvenience.
Okay, if that's really fine, that's fine. Okay, so your topic for guest Keshav, your topic is, what's the perfect idea of your birthday? What's the perfect idea of your birthday, guest Keshav?
Hello, everyone. Hello, guest and the Toastmasters present here. The idea of birthday, as one of the Toastmasters earlier mentioned, is having a satisfaction, like something which we love to do or something which we wanted to do. And people like to, and there were mixed opinions that people like to celebrate their birthday, as well as some speaker also mentioned that he doesn't like to celebrate at all. I have a mixed opinion that recently last year's birthday, I wasn't due to COVID, we were homebound, so I didn't enjoy it. But in every birthday, I make sure that I go to an orphanage and have a one-day meal served to the children and needy. And I'm a kind of introvert, so I don't go out with friends too much. So according to me, the perfect birthday, which I feel is helping others and helping for humanity. And apart from that, some of the important things which I'd like to refer is birthdays are just a particular day. Like if something is as like if something is as special as like if something is as special, every day is special. Not a single birthday is not just it. So I'd like to conclude that every day is a gift for us, and there's no specific thing as birthday as such. Thank you.
That's such a great take, and kudos to you for going and doing something for the people, and that's really great. So next up, I'd like to call up on Toastmaster Deepak Bed. I'm sure he'll make us laugh today. So, and I have a very funny topic for him. Toastmaster Deepak, can we please have you? Yeah.
Hi. Am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah. So your topic for today is Toastmaster Deepak. Boys gossip more than girls. Boys gossip more than girls. Toastmaster Deepak.
But I think this is one of the really right things about me, because if you think that girls gossip more, no. Let me tell you. If you're gonna tell me a secret, first of all, I most probably am gonna forget about it. But just because I forget it doesn't mean that other boys don't gossip. And most of the secrets that other guys talk about, I mean, they talk a lot and I get to know about it all, except I forget most of them. So, well, let me tell you about this one moment where one of the members in not Toastmaster fraternity, but in some other fraternity, where he called me and told me to, uh, the things going on, and told me not to talk about it to any other people. The first thing I did was, okay, I went and called one of the other members before I even forget about it. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for the take, and I agree with you. But I think girls and boys agree. Both gossip. It just depends on the individual. So I just found this topic really funny. So I thought of asking all of you about what you think about it. So thank you so much for participating. This is the end of the table topic session. I hope you all had a great time, and I want to hand over the podium to someone who inspired me to join Toastmasters. Everyone's favorite DTM Achita. Up to you.
Thank you, Samriddhi. I will put extra effort into your introduction the next time I'm the teamer. And I absolutely love it when someone says everyone's favorite. It's like such a diva kind of a feeling. Ruchira is smiling because she shares it with me. And it feels great to know that you can inspire people to do something. And that is one of the things that I absolutely want to do in my life. I want my favorite compliment any single time is that when someone says you inspired me to do this, or you inspired me to not do this. So thank you, Samriddhi. It really means a lot coming from you. And with that, I really like to say I loved your table topic sessions. The topics were fantastic. I wish I could have spoken, but since I was a role player, I refrained from participating. And I would request everyone to just understand a few things, some things that I noticed and I thought I'd share as someone who's been in the fraternity for some time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in a formal setup. We all are free to communicate, we all are free to interact with each other as much as we want. But Toastmasters is a formal setup, and therefore I request people to kindly not unmute themselves unless it is their official requirement to do so. In case you want to volunteer for table topics, raise your hand or write your name on the chat. The table topic master will select you. In case you have a question as a role player, please make sure to put it on the chat and not unmute and speak. The Sergeant at Arms right at the beginning mentions nobody is expected to unmute themselves and speak without the prior permission of the President. So if you have to speak in the chat box, kindly ask for permission and then unmute yourselves and speak. Okay, in a physical meeting setup, we wouldn't interrupt a speaker and say something, would we? But here, because we have the option of unmuting and saying something, we are exercising it. And as much as it is a human tendency and a simple idea of forgetting it, let us remember that we are still here in a very formal, wonderful, wonderfully friendly setup, but it is still something that has a certain decorum. Okay, with that, I'd just like to conclude my theme on the note that I think birthdays are special and they're a big deal because it is a reason to celebrate. I am one person who believes that the smallest of reasons to celebrate should not be missed. And birthday for me is a huge, big one. I believe that every single time that you achieved something you couldn't do, which for me would be going on a walk after 300 years, reason to celebrate. Let's order a pizza, which negates the idea of a walk, but still, it's a reason to celebrate. Bringing a smile on somebody's face is my favorite thing to do on their birthday. And right from my grandmother, who technically doesn't even remember her birthday, to my younger sister who waits for her birthday like crazy, I celebrate everybody's birthday around me. And I'm lucky to have friends who do the same for me. This year, I've received showers of blessing, countless gifts from some wonderful people present in this very meeting. And I'd like to thank each and every one of them for all of those gifts, all of those blessings, and all of those wishes. I hope to receive all of them in the years to come. And someone asked me in the personal chat, what's the most unique gift that I received this year on my birthday? And I think one of the most unique gifts that I received is from Toastmaster Rohit, who's also one of my closest friends. He gifted me on 27 days to go for my birthday because I turned 27 this year. He gifted me 27 Kit Kats, which is my favorite chocolate. So I think that's very unique. It's very creative and it's a wonderful, wonderful gift. So for me, that was the most special and unique gift that I got this year. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. And I will hand it back to the general evaluator to take it forward and tell you areas where you all really need to improve. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya Roy.
Thank you, and let's have a round of applause for the TMOD today. And with that, let's kickstart the evaluation session by inviting on stage the evaluator of the first speaker, Toastmaster Ruchira, who is getting evaluated by Toastmaster Gurpreet.
Thank you, sir. General Evaluator. A very good evening to one and all, and a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Ruchira Singh. I must say, you were the CEO on stage. Very charismatic, very eloquent, and very opulent, Toastmaster Ruchira. Let me tell you three things that I absolutely loved about your speech. Point number one, you had a great personal story, and personal stories are authentic and credible, and the relatability with the audience increases. So that was a great job done. The second thing that I really loved about your speech was your command on stage and your poise. You had that calm, you had composure, you had authority over your voice, especially when you were telling us about that incident about the other boys going and jumping into the swimming pool. But I loved that portion, wonderfully done. And especially the way you went down and just came up. So that was absolutely well done. The third thing that I really loved about his speech was the ladder approach, the structure. You told us about your school responsibilities and then about your college days and how you were a part of different clubs. And finally, to your roles and responsibilities in Toastmasters. So this ladder approach, this structure was wonderfully done in your speech. However, there are some areas where you can work upon to take this excellent speech to a different level altogether. First thing is, as Toastmasters and as public speakers, we don't expect quick solutions. So I was perhaps expecting a stronger struggle when you were telling us about swimming, right? I was expecting perhaps Toastmaster Ruchira will tell us something about a stronger struggle and how she overcame her fear of calculus of swimming. So that was something that was missing. You could probably introduce it in your speech. The second thing was the character conceptualization. Now, when I introduce the character, I make sure that that character returns back again and there's a complete and there's a full cycle to my speech. So although you introduced your mother, when your mother told you it's all in the mind, I was perhaps expecting your mother to come back again and complete that cycle towards the end of the speech. So something on character conceptualization you could have worked upon. But nevertheless, let me summarize your speech. To summarize, I would say you had a great personal story, great command on stage and poise. You had a great ladder approach kind of structure, but you could just work upon a strongest, some of the strongest struggles that you could include in your speech. Your character conceptualization could have been better. and you could have taken the speech to a different level altogether. But I'm absolutely sure that you are the CEO. You have command over your fears. You have exercised your command over those fears and absolutely have overcome those struggles. So all the best to you, Toastmaster Ruchira. I think you've done a great job and you will keep doing so as the CEO. Over to you, Sir General Evaluator.
Thank you for that wonderful evaluation. And adding on to that, today the first thing which I liked about your speech, Toastmaster Ruchira, was that clever usage of the speech title. When I read that speech title, How to Become a CEO, the first words which came to my mind was Chief Executive Officer, and I thought that it would somehow dive somewhere in some financial strategies. But what happened was entirely different. So kudos for that. And also having 3 speeches within a Toastmaster speech is an art, because in hindsight you have to use characterization, you have to use different timelines, and so it's always difficult, or at least that's how I have always felt. But I thought that today you did that particularly well. Just one point of suggestion: when we use 3 stories within a particular speech, we want to use them in the increasing order of their importance, and today I felt that your first story had better drama and impact than the next 2 stories, and I thought that the order could have been swapped in your speech. That way your speech could have had better gravity, and that way you could have made sure that we remembered your speech for more days to come, if not months and years. And as of right now, what has happened is I am definitely going to remember your speech for tonight, but for after about 1 or 2 weeks, I am probably not going to have a memory of your speech because of the messed up order of your stories. I thought you could have added some art into that as well. But otherwise, it was a great speech with beautiful characterization and great dramatization. So, can we have a round of applause for both the speaker and the evaluator? And with that, let's invite on stage the evaluator of the second speaker, Toastmaster Achyut Todi. You're muted, Achyut.
Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, Ali. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and especially our speaker number 2 for the evening, Toastmaster Rakesh. The road to success. This is something which you've demonstrated in your actions much better than a lot of us just proclaim. Project 3 on level 5. The sheer number of attempts you've gone on stage and tried to better yourself every time. That's something we had a treat of today. Here is my perspective on how you delved in what you shared. The road to success was a project which required you to deliver a long keynote style speech. This is an aberration from the typical 5 to 7 minute speeches we see in Toastmasters. And the other 2 key objectives of the speech were for the speaker to make the speech engaging, and at the same time adopt a style as humorous or informational, so that it helps convey the point which the speaker is trying to conjure, and then also conveying this in an engaging manner so that the content which is researched is also compelling, not just from how the speaker is saying it, but also how the audience receives it. My perspective here was, Rakesh, that your project objectives were partially met. Let's delve deeper into why this was so. I loved the passion with which you delivered your speech. For me, passion would be the single takeaway or the foundation on which on which you spoke for 21 minutes. Your passion displayed a sense of genuinity in your efforts and in your stories. This helped power the gestures which you used throughout your speech, and it came about in a very natural manner. Right from when you were describing your wife as beautiful, when you were venture in Siliguri, and then you had to show effort, that showed that although we aren't present in person, but even within the camera and your setup, we could see the energy. I'm doing a very terrible job of expressing that much passion. And the other thing which I loved was the stories of it. You developed a fairly confusing topic, what is success, but you intertwined it with your stories, and not just your stories, you also involved stories of the audience. This brings me to point number 2 of what you did excellently well. That is, it was very engaging. And by and the opening which you had, where you invited comments of what ideas of success were, helped engage the audience. Then very smartly, you put in your own definition of success and you converted that from a discussion to a particular flow. That said, audience engagement was a double-edged sword in your speech. Because when the audience said what fit your idea of success, you took it in a flow. But the moment it started to sway away from what they had said, which didn't match your points, you were a little jittery and often opposed what they said. So that is something which in longer speeches you'll have to improve with practice. One example was when Toastmaster Archita's response towards the final third of your speech, you had a but in the end. Now that threw the speech off track. Post that, I think another way where you could improve in this speech was add some aid to your speech so that the audience could follow it. There were 6 steps which you had listed, but by the end of it, when you were recollecting them, I was not sure if you were actually recollecting the steps which you had said through the speech. And it seemed to me like there was a flow which was lost. On the whole, I think the objectives were partially met because it was compelling in the sense that it inspired, but it wasn't compelling enough that it invoked conviction for action. One metaphor I would use to describe your speech was how it was a roller coaster, and we went till the peak with slow, sturdy steps, made the noise, and then almost at the end of it, when the roller coaster drops into that floor, and when you experience the breeze hitting your stomach, I felt that final punch was missing in your speech. All in all, I think this was a good effort, but with practice and with some more logical flow, which you could incorporate in your speech, it would definitely be a 10 on 10 speech. Best of luck for your next speeches, Rakesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Achyut, for that wonderful evaluation. Even though the red card was up, he did not care about the time limit and he went on with his evaluation. Great job done there. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Achyut in particular first? And then moving on to Toastmaster Rakesh. Today, your speech had many elements. It was interactive, it was energetic, and the way you spoke throughout with the same energy and voice level throughout the entire 21 minutes, you have just made myself very envious about you. Because lack of energy is something which I have always suffered from, and the way you sustain your energy level, you have certainly made me very jealous. A great job done there. And you have certainly spoken from the very core of your heart. I love that aspect of your speech. But having said that, I completely agree with Toastmaster Achyut. If only you could have recollected different elements of your speech at the very end, that could have made sure that we remember the different aspects, the different lessons about how it's important to take baby steps about success, about how it's important to not be overconfident after we have attained success. That I felt was somehow missing. But nonetheless, I am sure that this particular element will be there when you deliver your future speeches. All the best for your future speeches, and I can't wait to hear your future speeches in this very club. So let's have a round of applause once again for Toastmaster Achyut and also for Toastmaster Rakesh this time. And with that, I would like to move on to the role players, to all the tag role players reports, starting with the grammarian, which today was being taken up by Toastmaster Meghna Agarwal.
Good evening. Some good usages of grammar were calculus of swimming, scramble out of the pool, swim and not sink, fog of fear, chuckle my responsibilities, tasting success, hate crime and hatred is a disease, breeze hitting the stomach. And the word of the day was used by guest Ishan and Toastmaster Rakesh. That's all from my side. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you for that wonderful report. Moving on to the report of the R counter, played by Toastmaster Ritika Mazumdar.
Good evening, General Evaluator. I have prepared a report. If I could share my screen and share it.
So request the Take Master to please grant the rights of screen sharing.
Yes, she can share.
Okay. Let me know if the screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so please, I mean, I have just arranged not in a sequence. So what I had observed was distinguished Toastmaster Archita, Shaurya, and Gurpreet Singh. They were all flawless. I also found Ruchira's speech to be flawless. I found that Toastmaster Anam had used "ah" once, and I found that Toastmaster Samriddhi had used "ah" thrice, and Toastmaster Achyut in a review just used "ah" once. Uh, in the role player, I observed that Toastmaster Akash initially had used "ah" twice. However, I didn't find Toastmaster Meghna, Udisha use any of the clutch words. And coming to the guest Abhishek, guest Munish, they were also flawless. Sorry, I have not filled it yet. However, I found that when guests Ishan and Keshav spoke, the use of "ah" was multiple times. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful detailed report. And next up is the report of the timer being taken up by Toastmaster Akash Patnaik.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All the speakers were on time except for evaluator TM Achyut Todi, and are eligible for voting.
Thank you for that crisp report. And I would also request you to type in all the time taken by all the speakers and role players over the chat box as we move on to the report of the VAR counter played by Toastmaster Udisha Bandani.
Good evening. There were a lot of wow moments in today's session, and I will just state a few of them. Toastmaster Ruchira quoted from a book that said, "We do not always encourage leadership in women." I felt this was a very thought provoking statement. And there was actually a very big study on why there are more male comedians than female ones. And it all boiled down to how we are raised. More often than not, in the Indian society, girls are expected to behave well, score well, and they're not given a lot of window to make mistakes. And they lose their confidence. And so I would like to thank PM Ruchira for pointing that out and sharing how she overcame it. The second wow moment for me was when AD shared his thought on what success is. He said that success should be shared, and I think that is a very noble and inspiring thought. Happiness grows when you spread it. And on the similar lines, I loved how guest Keshav celebrates his birthday by feeding the needy. So yes, these were the three wow moments for me. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful detailed report. And last but not the least, let's have the report of the parliamentarian taken up today by Toastmaster Anam Rahman.
Thank you, the general evaluator. Now, apart from some unmuting themselves while as mentioned today, DTM Arshad Advani, other than other mentions which were so just please make sure next time one make use of if you have any queries. That is it for my report.
Thank you. That brings us to an end of all the reports by all the tag role players. Let's have a round of applause for all the tag role players which were being taken up today. And next up, I would just like to have one line for each and every table topic speaker because time is of the essence. So the first table topic speaker today was guest Abhishek, whose topic was junk food popularly relies on marketing. Today, I would like to encourage you to smile more while you speak because the content which you had, if only you could have just one smile at the corner of your lips, the audience would have been just rolled over while laughing. Your content was that humorous, but what missed in your table topic today was a smile. Otherwise, it was a very, I would say, you were able to grasp the essence of the topic. And having just a little bit of smile in your face would have made sure that the humor was appreciated by the audience. That went somehow missing. But otherwise, I'm sure that this particular element of humor will be there in your future table topics. So all the best for your future table topics. All the best for stepping up more and more. So can we have a round of applause for guest Abhishek? Next up was Toastmaster Munish Gupta, whose topic was lying is a good idea. It's almost a ritual seeing you in stepping up in our table topic sessions during the lockdowns, and it has been continuing, and tonight was no exception. I love the way you convinced all of us regarding why exactly lying a little bit now and then is good for our health. And this is something which I'm sure I'm going to incorporate into my daily routine starting from tomorrow onwards. So can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Munish Gupta? Next up was guest Ishan, whose topic was good health begins in the mind. Being a guest and stepping up in table topics is never easy. I've been a Toastmaster for quite some time now, and yet even then, whenever I step up in table topics, I get butterflies in my stomach with the size of elephants. So it's never easy, and it's also not easy when someone else is starting to speak on your topic, and to interrupt that person and to step up is really difficult to the power of two. So a great job done there in stepping up. And the way you spoke, I thought that you are natural at this, and I'm sure that you're going to get even better and better as you step up more and more. All the best for that, and I can't wait for that to happen. So just step up more and more and come back regularly to our meetings. So can we have a round of applause for guest Ishan? And next up in the table topic session was guest Keshav, whose topic was what's the perfect idea of your birthday? And I would like to reiterate what I just said about our last speaker. And if I was to nitpick, I would say that you could probably utilize the entire time limit which is being allocated to you, because I thought that you stepped off the podium when only the green card was up. So probably when you step up the next time, try to speak until the red card is up. That will make sure that you utilize the entire time limit which is allocated to you. Because when you're on stage, you are the rock star. So why not utilize the entire time limit? Other than that, your topic today was perfectly spoken about. So can we have a round of applause for guest Keshav? And last but not the least, we had Toastmaster Deepak, whose topic was boys gossip more than girls. Today, the only thing which was funnier than your topic was your expressions which you had while you spoke. And I would like to encourage you again to utilize your entire time limit and to expand on your stories. Because speaking on personal stories is something which you are you to do in your Toastmasters journey. And I would very much like for that to happen. All the best for that, and just keep stepping up more and more in your table topics. You will get better at this, a lot better. And with that, let's have a round of applause for Toastmaster Deepak in particular and for all table topic speakers in general. And with that, I would like to sincerely apologize to the Sergeant Staff and the standing president, because I had no clue that I was going to be general evaluator. And so when they were speaking, I was literally relaxing in my chair because I came into this meeting after judging a debate contest for 3 hours straight. And so since I had no idea I was going to be generally evaluated, I did not pay much attention. So sincere apologies for that. And I would like to request them to reach out to anyone else who was attentive during those particular sessions, who could give feedback to them. And as far as the TMOD is concerned, distinguished Toastmaster Rajat Tiwari is someone who has taken up this particular role multiple times before, and I am not going to evaluate this performance because, according to me, it was flawless. And with that, let's have a round of applause for all the speakers and role players who stepped up in this particular meeting. And with that, let's hand over the stage back to the standing president of the day, Toastmaster Gurpreet Singh.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep the applause going for distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya Roy. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya, for taking up the role last minute. And how can we forget our very dear Toastmaster Achyut for doing the same? We really appreciate your dedication. I understand Toastmaster Achyut was returning from his office and he had to take up the role. Thank you so much, and same for distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya. That means a lot. So ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this meeting. But before we go, absolutely, we are waiting for our results. But before I ask Toastmaster Anam, can we have, or the host of this meeting, to launch the voting polls? In the meanwhile, I would request some of the guests to share their feedback as well. Can we have some of the guests, please, to unmute themselves and share their feedback? Anyone? Guest Ankit, would you like to share your feedback about the meeting?
So it was a nice session, an interesting one. I learned a lot of things. The word pellucid was a new word added to my dictionary. I am looking forward, sir. It's a very nice
Great.
session, sir.
Thank you so much. Please join us again, guest Abhishek.
Uh, I am really happy to join you back this week. After last week's session was very entertaining and very enlightening. So was this session. I really like the way it's hosted. But I would like our standing president to tell us when these meetings will be able to start on physical mode, because being on the Zoom meeting, it doesn't give you that personal touch of knowing everyone and getting to better yourself more. Because on when you are on the speaker or when you are not looking at all the audience, your speech can be good. But when you're looking at a guest room full of 30 people and then you have to speak, then that's what public speaking makes more difficult. So
Absolutely. Guest Abhishek, we agree with you. In fact, I am somebody who's been raising this question regularly, but we have not yet found a solution to it. Trust me, we equally want to return back to Calcutta Chamber of Commerce. I believe some of the Toastmasters on screen are also nodding their heads. We really want to get back to Calcutta Chamber of Commerce, and guest Abhishek, we will definitely give you some good news in days to come. Thank you for joining us today, and till we meet at CCC again, hope to see you for our online meetings. So with that, yeah, sure.
I had a
Toastmaster
question actually.
Yes, please.
Yes, hi Gurpreet. Yeah, this is actually my second meeting for the Toastmasters Kolkata Club, and I had a well. My feedback is very good since this is my second like meeting, and it has been really enlightening and insightful for me because something which is good, and I feel that the train of thought and the process flow which the committee members are kind of incorporating in these Zoom sessions, it's very enlightening. It's very thought provoking as well. So I had more of a question rather than a feedback actually. The question being that so this is my second meeting, and when do we actually as guests become proper full-time members of the club? And my second question is actually a reiteration of the what one of my previous guests asked, I think Mr. Abhishek Mota asked, is that when will we actually have a physical mode and where will we be going, and what will be exactly the kind of activities which we'll be doing in these physical sessions which you all used to do before the pandemic happened?
Yeah, guest Ishan, I'll answer your second question first. As I said, I'll reiterate, we are all expecting an answer from the higher authorities as well as to when we can get back to Calcutta Chamber of Commerce Park Street. That's where Kolkata Toastmasters Club, we meet. And the activities that you've seen online, these are the activities, the three structures of any Toastmasters meeting is what we follow in our physical meetings as well. And coming back to your first question, could you just repeat it once again?
Yeah, so the first question is that when do guests actually become full-time members of the Toastmasters Club, and how can we become distinguished members and vice presidents and so on and so forth?
Well, yes. So guest Ishan, you can become a member after you attend a few meetings as a guest and get a feel of how meetings are conducted. Once you understand the flow and you understand how these meetings will benefit you once you become a member, you can absolutely approach me if you want to be a member of Kolkata Toastmasters Club. And definitely I'll take this offline with you after this meeting. For sure, I'll answer those queries and all the other queries that you have regarding membership.
Sure. I'll get on call with you.
Perfect.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. So Toastmaster Ruchira is here from a different club altogether. Wonderful speech, Toastmaster Ruchira. What's your feedback? Can we have it?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gurpreet. Yeah, this is my second time coming to KTM as well, and it's a pleasure to hear such a wonderful standard of the meeting right from the start. I really enjoyed the way your Sergeant at Arms started the meeting today. I think that was something very unique that I've not seen in any of the meetings that I've attended. And as a whole, every role was played to perfection, and it was just an enjoyable evening. Thank you so much for having me as well.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruchira. We're indeed glad to have you here. And we also have another Toastmaster from a different club who delivered a prepared speech, Toastmaster Rakesh. If you could share a few words. Toastmaster Rakesh, are you here? Yeah.
I'm working, so I'll say without switching on my camera. It was just a wow moment for me to be a part of such a wonderful club, which was hosting its 600 sitting as a host. Such a wonderful thing. I loved each and every moment. I enjoyed it, and specifically you. Whenever I see, I'm so envious of you. A model in front of me. Okay.
Thank you
Over to you,
so
Presiding
much,
Officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rakesh. Keep coming to Kolkata Toastmasters Club. We were glad to host you this evening. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have the results for this evening. So without wasting much time, I'll directly delve into the results. The best auxiliary role player, ladies and gentlemen, for this evening, the best auxiliary role player has been shared by two people out here. Ritika, Toastmaster Ritika, a new member of the Toastmasters International Fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Ritika as the counter for this evening. But it's not just Toastmaster Ritika who's the best auxiliary role player, ladies and gentlemen. There's somebody who's sharing it to another new member of the fraternity. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Udisha. Wonderfully done, both of you. Congratulations to both of you. Moving on to the best role player for this evening. That's among the general evaluator, the Toastmaster of the day, and the table topic master. No prizes for guessing. It has to be, and ladies and gentlemen, it is distinguished Toastmaster Archita Tiwari as the Toastmaster of the day. That's an advance birthday gift, distinguished Toastmaster Archita Tiwari. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Moving on to the best table topic speaker for this evening. Now, this gentleman has been with us from Kashmir, from Jammu, since lockdown days, and he has improved. He has improved by leaps and bounds, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for guest Munish Gupta as the best table topic speaker for this evening. We are not having the best evaluator for this evening because one of our evaluators got disqualified. So moving on to the most improved speaker for this evening, and that's none other than the man who kept the audience on their feet. He asked us repeated questions and ensured that we were attentive and listening to him. Toastmaster Rakesh Prasad as the most improved speaker for the evening. Congratulations, Toastmaster Rakesh. And of course, the awaited IFA award.
Thank you so much.
Right? Thank you, sir. The best speaker award for this evening. I am not going to give you anything for your guesses. The lady is already on screen. The lady is already smiling. It is indeed Toastmaster Ruchira. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Ruchira, the CEO. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ruchira. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, wish you a great weekend ahead. We come to the end of this meeting. Hope to see you again next Friday, 7 p.m. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we officially end this meeting. If you want to stay back for some chit chat, please feel free. Good night, everyone.